Hello everyone, we're just on a little after work evening ride. It's pretty nice out this evening. I think it's probably about 70 degrees, so it's getting ready to go down, man. Colors are really pretty. It's fall up here. Harvest season's in full swing. What I'd like to talk to you about today is I see a lot of guys posting stuff about how Harley Davidson, has lost its core riders, and and that's the reason they're losing sales and things like that. And I think it's kind of a downtrend on motorcycling altogether. I know Indians kind of ran flat, I think, as far as their sales have gone here in the last little bit. They kind of came on strong and then kind of leveled off, and they're bumping into their market share, and the Harley sales keep falling. So and a lot of guys, Ryan Erlacher from Law Abiding Biker had a video, or a few videos actually, about Harley Davidson and what he thinks they ought to do to help boost their sales. And a guy named Gears and Gadgets, I know he's done one too. I follow both of those guys. And I'm not here to pick on Harley Davidson or anything. I just kind of thinking back to my younger days. And I heard this saying way back, win on Sunday, sell on Monday. And I know the car makers have kind of taken that to heart. They seem to have lost it when they got corporate. Corporate guys seem to take all the fun out of everything, and I think by taking the fun out of everything, they kind of lose the passion that people may have for their products and stuff like that. So anyway, I think back to I've been racing something for pretty much my whole life. I don't race anymore, but I raced motorcycles when I was a kid, and raced cars and stuff in later years. And I remember growing up, Ivan Stewart was the big man in the off-road. And I'll tell you what, at least in the area I was from down there in southern Nevada, that was our go-to sport down there. There really wasn't anything else down there. We didn't have any pro stick and ball things or anything like that. We did have UNLV there in Las Vegas, but people just really weren't into college sports like they are back east and stuff like that. So off-road racing was kind of our sport of the area. And you had big names like Ivan Stewart and Walker Evans and Rod Hall and Manny Esquera. All these guys had factory rides. Ivan Stewart was a factory Toyota driver, and Manny Esquera was a factory Ford driver, and Walker Evans was a factory, and Rod Stewart were both factory Dodge drivers. And I know, just growing up when I was a kid, that Ivan Stewart was winning everything, man. Toyota was just mopping up a lot of stuff in the off-road scene back then. And 4 kids I knew straight out of high school, and I contribute this to Toyota, showing such a strong background in in trucks and stuff like that, with all the race wins and everything. 4 kids straight out of high school bought Toyota pickup trucks. And I don't think they would have done that, or maybe not have been as influenced to buy that brand if Ivan Stewart wasn't winning all those races back then. And when I look at what Indian's done over the last few years, they made a commitment to go into flat track racing and have basically just dominated for years. And I think that's probably attributed to the amount of growth that they've had. People, not a lot of people watch a flat track race, but they might see something now and again and see how Indian's been dominating. And I know the bikes that they race aren't anything like the production bikes, but people still kind of translate that over as to, you know, they're winning races. They must have the right technology to make motorcycles go fast or, you know, handle right or whatever. So people kind of, I think, you know, coming from the background I've got, but I think people kind of transfer that stuff over to their road bikes, you know, and a lot of technology probably carries over, I'm sure, just like with any other racing, factory racing deal where they share their results with the factory on what they find and what kind of modifications they make. But I think a lot of that stuff transfers over to you know, to people, and kind of gets it in their mind that, you know what, these guys are making a pretty decent product, and I really might want to look into that. And, you know, and they might not buy it, they might, who knows. I know that Indian winning all those races, it made me want to go down to the dealership and look at their bikes. And, you know, and I ended up with one. I can't say it was my only deciding factor on buying an Indian, but you know, it definitely got me into the dealership to look. You know, I think it's some, you know, one part of it anyway. And you know, I know Harley Davidson back in the day, you know, they were pretty much dominating all the flat track. They really had no competition. And, you know, that, I don't know if that really attributed to the big Harley sales, but I know it didn't hurt. And, you know, and Honda came on the scene there a little bit in the 80s, and you know, kind of really took over, and they changed the rules a bunch and stuff to try to keep Honda out of it, really. But you know, that's just corporations kind of flexing their muscles a little bit, and not wanting to lose the foothold they had. But there's a whole story behind that. I'm sure that if you dug around, you could find the story on that too. But, you know, and I know everybody's saying, well, Harley's losing all these sales, and, you know, and I went and looked today. I go, you know, what kind of a racing you know, team does Harley Davidson have right now? And I went on their website today, and I found that you know, they've got 3 drag bike riders, and then of course they've got their flat track team, and that's about it. And they really don't seem to really market that as heavy as I think they could. They definitely don't market it near as heavy as Indian is. You know, Indian, is, like I said, has really embraced this racing deal, I think. And I don't know if you guys have seen, but they're actually building a hill climb bike right now. You know, and that's, there again, you know, it's not a huge sport, but it's more exposure. And, you know, if they swing that exposure right, they'll get more people walking in the dealerships too. So, you know, I think there's a lot to that, you know, win on Sunday, sell on Monday kind of thing. You know, they get that, they kind of get the passion, you know, of people watching them and stuff, and just paying attention to what they're doing, and get people in the door and really, you know, let them take a look at their product. And you just, like you say, you just never know. And I know race teams are expensive and they cost a lot of money, and you know, Ford did that a couple years back with their GT. You know, they went back to Le Mans and won on their 50th anniversary. You know, did it sell a bunch of cars for them? Who knows, but it sure did give them a lot of exposure. You know, and it might have got people back in the dealership looking at those cars. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on marketing that all the manufacturers can do. I'm not sure they're really back in the race teams, except in the dirt bike world. I know in you know, Supercross, they still got big race teams, and they're pushing a lot of money that way. But they sell a ton of dirt bikes too, so they gotta have somebody up there winning, and they're just not going to sell. So, and I think even, you know, with the street bikes and the cruisers and things like that, I think if these American companies, you know, Indian and Harley, could really get in there and really leverage their race organizations and use those race wins as, you know, kind of gateways for their advertising, and, you know, make sure everybody knows about all the technology that they have on those, and how that technology is transferring over to the machines they drive on the road. I think they could get a lot more entry-level riders in there, you know, and some younger guys, and of course they got to market a bike, you know, that's you know, more fit to a younger rider, or, you know, or first-time riders. You know, some of the smaller bikes would you know, could do that. But anyway, I just thought I'd share my thoughts with you guys on that, and I do appreciate you coming along, man. It sure is a beautiful evening. If you would, if you like the topic, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and, you know, if you'd like to see some more of my videos, just subscribe, and try to have one come out for you every week. And just enjoy. I enjoy reading all the comments, so if you guys would throw some comments in and see what your thoughts are, you know, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, that'd be cool. I'd love to hear everybody's side on this, so if you would kind of put some comments in down there, and we'll get a discussion going. So you guys take care, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of my little evening ride here as I cross over the Snake River. And we'll talk to you next time. Bye.